The following program is a part of Black Squirrel Entertainment.
This week we've got Apex Aliens
and an adventure to Japan.
All Systems Go starts right now. Greetings and welcome back to another episode of All Systems Go, the show that does not condone leaking source code or early builds of upcoming games. I'm law-abiding Laz.
And I'm crime-free Cassandra. Let's get started. Big news for Pokemon Go fans. Niantic's massive leveling update drops this week, raising the trainer cap from 50 to 80 with a full XP rebalance, faster progression, and new rewards like expanded storage and a daily adventure egg that hatches after just 1 kilometer of walking. But the rollout's already hit a snag. Niantic's new weekly challenge feature was pulled after bricked players' games, leaving some locked out completely. Meanwhile, a leak of new level up tasks has fans divided, with many calling the challenges too easy. Tasks include things like catching 100 Pokemon in a day, and making 999 throws, far simpler than previous milestones. The new level cap requires just over 200 million XP, meaning many trainers could jump several levels overnight. Some say it's welcoming to newcomers, others a letdown for veterans.
A year after the colossal leak of internal data from Pokemon developer Game Freak, dubbed the Terra Leak or sometimes Freak Leak, there is still somehow data being leaked. Only 3 days out from tomorrow's Pokemon Legends ZA release, source code and beta builds of the game began spreading online on Monday morning. It's been inferred that these files were withheld from the initial release of the Terra Leak and saved until right before the game came out. The hackers appear to have still evaded the Nintendo ninjas, even with the attempt to subpoena Discord to divulge their identities. The official opinion I have on this matter is that these hackers must be apprehended and made to take accountability for their heinous actions.
Speaking of hackers, Discord is investigating a major data breach involving one of its third-party customer service providers, reportedly exposing sensitive information from thousands of users. This company says that this was not a breach of Discord's own servers, but of outsourced vendor support, where attackers gained access for nearly 58 hours. Hackers claim to have stolen 1.5 terabytes of data, including more than 2 million government ID photos. The Discord disputes that figure, saying only about 70,000 users were affected. The stolen data includes names, emails, limited billing details, and conversations with customer support, but no passwords or private messages. The cybercrime group Scattered Lapsus Hunters has claimed responsibility, demanding ransom, which Discord says it won't pay. The company has cut ties with the compromised vendor and is working with law enforcement as it contacts affected users by email. A sharp reminder that even trusted apps are only as secure as the partners behind them.
Once again, I've been reminded of why I stopped wanting to be a game developer. On October 10th, the Game Workers branch of the Independent Workers of Great Britain posted an open letter to executive leadership at Build a Rocket Boy, the company behind the absolute flop of a release that was this summer's Mind's Eye. The letter, which was signed by 93 current and former employees of Build a Rocket Boy, outlines several issues, including but not limited to a lack of transparency and communication, unbearable levels of mandatory overtime without ability to take promised time off, and disastrous handling of redundancies. I wish the best of luck to the employees and ex-employees in their action against Build a Rocket Boy.
Japan's government has formally asked OpenAI to refrain from copyright infringement after the company's new video generator Sora 2 was used to create clips closely resembling famous anime like Dragon Ball, Spirited Away, and Pokemon. At a press conference, Minister Minoru Koichi called anime and manga irreplaceable treasures Japan boasts to the world, confirming that the Cabinet's Office online requests that OpenAI ensure its technology respects Japanese intellectual property. The warning follows growing backlash on social media and statements from officials who say Japan may invoke the AI Promotion Act's Article 16, allowing investigations into the misuse of AI. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has promised new safeguards to give rights holders more control over how characters are generated, but so far there's been no official response to Tokyo's latest demand.
It's that time again, time for your weekly KSU esports update. The Overwatch team won their Wednesday, October 8th and Thursday, October 9th matches against BGSU and OU respectively, both 3-0. Unfortunately, they couldn't keep up the win streak and lost to the University of Utah on Thursday, October 9th. But maybe we'll see a new win streak since they beat Miami 3-0 yesterday. They're maintaining their second place ESC ranking with 8 wins and 1 loss. The Rocket League team managed to score their second win of the season on Monday, 3-1 against BGSU, and they're still tied for 7th also with BGSU, having 2 wins and 4 losses. They'll be playing OU in Miami next Wednesday, October 22nd. Finally, the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate team is still ranked first with 7 wins and 1 loss. To watch their matches, follow them at Esports KSU on Twitch. After the break, Hoko asked the question, can you really learn from a video game?
If so, my Minecraft degree and falling into lava while building should count for something. All systems go, we'll be right back.
Hello there, and welcome to my classroom. You can call me Mix Lions, and I'm your teacher. Today, we'll be discussing a long disputed question. Can video games be educational? I'm joined together by my students. This is Jarrett. This is Noah, B. Ryan, and M. Organ. Let's jump right in with the first question. Class is now in session. There are many genres of video game, and there's one in particular that is a nefarious combination of the word education and entertainment. Let's talk about those. Have you ever played one of those edutainment games, or perhaps even a dedicated edutainment system? And also, very briefly, do you think that it achieved its purpose to teach you anything?
I don't know if you guys as a kid had one of those bikes where you could plug it into the TV with standard definition cables, and you had cartridges you'd plug in and bike. I had this Thomas the Tank Engine game where you biked around Sodor, but you'd do like different quests where it'd be like teach you colors, numbers, and other stuff. And I remember playing that game all the time as a kid.
Wait, so was that like, what do you mean like a bike? Was it like a full?
So you know like those like indoor bikes? Like it was like an exercise.
It was that, but a plug and play?
Yes, but it was a plug and play, so you could bike as Thomas moving around Sodor.
That's wacky.
It's actually, it was like super pixelated because it was like an older cheap game, but that was like one of my favorite childhood games.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, no, I just played like the typical like Jumpstart. Specifically, I remember Jumpstart 3rd grade, which did like help me practice math at least because of like how you had to like earn achievements in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I used to play Hello Leapster in the car.
I loved the Leapster.
Yes.
That was awesome.
I had Skylanders, believe it or not.
I wouldn't call that an
Would that be edutainment though?
Not really.
Entertainment?
Probably not.
Unless they had like an educational tie-in, but I don't think they ever did.
I wouldn't say that's an education game, but we will get into non-educational games. And let's just segue right into that because I doubt Putt-Putt was in anyone's game of the year. Let's talk about those games that aren't inherently educational too. So for our second question, have you felt as if you learned or were taught something through a video game? Since that's quite the open-ended question, let me discuss an example of mine. I learned from the Harvest Moon series what a daikon is, not the president of Kent State. A daikon is, it's like a radish, a type of radish. It's a vegetable that's like native to East Asia. Mm-hmm. And I would not have ever learned about that if it was not thanks to Harvest Moon, which talked to me a lot about weird vegetables and the like. So what about you guys?
Every single time that I open up Higurashi, it opens an intelligence gate in my brain. That game is quite good.
I have a
Reading
more
is good for
standard
you.
answer with like Civilization. I mostly played
good.
Civilization 5, and that like I would say that you can learn from that, not just because of the Civilopedia, the like encyclopedia of all the in-game civilizations, but also because I actually like used some of the knowledge from it to like do good on history exams. So, yeah.
That game is impossible. You can't even win that game. You just make all the cool military guys until the game crashes, right?
No, you can. There
That's
are
how you
like
play the
victory
game?
conditions. No, there are victory conditions that you go for with
just pick a
certain
random
civs,
thing?
with certain civs specifically built for particular victory conditions.
I got my stone throwers right next to all my tank guys and my nuclear bomb guys. It's awesome. It's lit.
B. Ryan, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I'm still gonna throw Skylanders out there.
But like, what did you learn from
I
How to play toys.
how to play toys?
How to spend money.
Valuable lesson.
Games are a scam.
Yes and no, and I'm gonna say this only because going in, like it was, I think it was Spyro's Adventure was the first one, and I'm gonna say when you're in first grade, it's good to learn about just general elements. So like every Skylander has a
Water.
different element and a different technique. So I'm gonna say back when you're 6 years old, it's just a good idea to
You
learn
should
about
not
your
play
elements.
games if you're 6 years old.
Excuse me.
You just wanted to talk about Skylanders.
It's fine.
A little bit, but
Skylanders
that's the best
is
educational thing I
nostalgic.
can think of right now. That's the only thing I remember.
And to bounce off that, when I played Roller Coaster Tycoon, I feel like in a way was educational. More
It's like
just
economy, yeah.
it's the economy, but also just
Yeah.
like actually setting up a park that pleases people. Because
Yeah.
sure, it's a game, but you do kind of have to learn the balance of how everything's set up for stuff to work. And in its own way, it's a little educational. Like, am I ever going to run a park? No. But I also learned you can't just have a hill that drops down at like 100 miles per hour straight into a turn.
Well, I was also thinking it gives you more of an appreciation for park designers
It really
and
does.
like engineers generally.
Like, I feel like it has a respect. It's not like an art form, but it has like a respect for that industry,
Yeah.
and it's just a fun game to play.
Yeah.
If you're young enough, maybe you're learning the concept of death through Roller Coaster Tycoon.
G-forces are very deadly.
On the contrary, have you ever learned something through a video game that turned out to be false, or have had video games otherwise mislead you?
Yes. I was playing, AI the Somnium Files, and this isn't really a spoiler, but there's a part in it where they talk about, they ask you, what island is the Statue of Liberty on? Is it on Ellis Island or Liberty Island? And I thought, Ellis Island. And they were like, that's right. Wrong. That's wrong. I know they're trying to trick you, but that never comes up again, and I don't know why they did that. They
So
lied to me.
random.
I could like write an entire essay about Civ and how there's like a bunch of I think Civ can be useful, but like also it like sort of perpetuates certain historical myths. Like, for example, a dark age does not mean like a period of time that is bad. It just means a period of time where we don't have sources, and how also just the way it structures like how Civ 6 specifically structures golden ages and falls is a little weird, even if it's not as bad as it could be. And also just like there's like a whole discussion to be had about how it presents history, and like I can't really go into all that though, unfortunately.
I feel like that's like Assassin's Creed's kind of in that same vein.
Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed's main problem is anachronism.
I'd say it's more egregious, or
It's like-
less egregious.
it's-
Assassin's Creed is more egregious.
It's a lot more egregious, but
It's
like
way
it's like
more
in that
egregious.
same vein where it's like it has enough where you can almost believe it until you've had like any history.
It kind of depends. It kind of
They
depends on which.
stretch it a little bit.
It kind of depends on which game you play,
Yeah.
because some games are better than others. Like the
I think you can learn a
I
little
think
bit
the,
off of Civ.
yeah,
But for Assassin's
yeah,
Creed,
yeah.
that's like
Assassin's
a game
Creed is. It's
you tell your
not
dad,
as
like,
much.
I'm learning, dude. It's in Egypt.
Well, I just like not like you learn from it, but it's enough to where like they try and stay based in history, but they overextend it way too much.
Yeah, they like try to include too many things from too many eras.
And it's really
into
confusing when
one.
you play it, an Assassin's Creed game, and it's like, oh, this is based in history, and then 2 seconds later you're now in a lab, and it's like, what?
Or-
I've been
it's like saying
lied
Monty
to.
Python.
Or the alien conspiracy stuff about the like artifacts of Eden.
Yeah.
As for me, I terminally can never spell the words superior and professional due to Pokemon and Splatoon. I always spell
Oh.
professional with an H in it,
Yeah.
and I always spell superior with an extra R when I should not. So, did you guys have any other educational-based games that you wanted to discuss?
I was going to say the Splatoon thing's just a bad audio stim for me now, because once you hit that rank, it's just a really bad audio stim.
That's true.
Like, what other educational elements are there to Skylanders? I'm curious.
In what way?
Like, you're just really passionate
Yeah,
about
you really wanna bring
Skylanders,
up
like being a
Skylanders.
part of this discussion.
The pitch it.
It's a game that I feel like, one, brings me back to my childhood, and two, it's underrated. Not many people thought about it other than you buy these little guys at a store that cost you back in the day maybe $20.
It's a lot.
That is, I
And then
feel
you
like
put
it
them
was
on a
cheaper.
portal that you have to plug into your system, and like it. You got to be careful because it's like it's good versus evil,
Yeah.
and you have the elements, and
Yeah, true.
I feel like if
true.
you want to take that, you could also just talk about more about overconsumption in the industry. And
yeah.
how, like,
No
that
kid.
stuff gets
Yeah.
overstimulated.
Okay.
Well, no,
okay.
but if you want to take that
no more
educational aspect-
Skylanders. No more Skylanders discussion. You guys actually get an F for today for Skylanders discussion. But next up, another one of my students, Laz, studied abroad in Japan. Let's follow along his adventure after the break. All systems go. We'll be right back.
Hey, have I ever mentioned that I went to Japan this summer? Oh, I have? Well, you're gonna have to listen to it again. Japan, the land of cherry blossoms, weird vending machines, and some of the best nerd culture known to man. Ever since I was a child, I've wanted to travel to Japan, and over the summer, I had the opportunity to do so. One of the education abroad programs offered by Kent State is the Beyond Academy internship program. Beyond Academy is a company that helps streamline the process of your internship abroad. They make things very easy for you. They submit your applications to the companies, set up any interviews, book your accommodations, and provide you with a taxi from the airport to where you'll be staying. My favorite thing about Beyond Academy is that they have a local community team who will be there to help you out or provide any advice you might need. They also include lots of events and meetups to participate in, including a trip to see Mount Fuji, a tea ceremony in kimono, and a bunch of day trips to different places near Tokyo. The program can be a bit pricey though, and many of these internships are unpaid due to visa restrictions in Japan and Korea, for example. Luckily, Kent State has partnered with the Freeman Foundation to offer about 12 students seeking an education abroad program in Asia generous funding that, in my case, covered almost all of the program fees. With that out of the way, let's dive into Tokyo, starting with nerd mecca, Akihabara. Nicknamed Akihabara Denkigai, which means Akihabara Electric Town, this ward of Tokyo is known globally for being the center of otaku culture, with its abundance of anime merch, arcades, video games, and electronics. One lovely Thursday afternoon in July, exploring Akihabara was one of the community events offered by the Beyond Academy team in Tokyo. Led by Hina and Mizu, a group of us interns got to visit Super Potato, arcades, and even a conveyor belt sushi restaurant. Super Potato is a chain of secondhand games stores with a flagship location in Akihabara known for its vast collection of retro consoles and games. It's also become kinda overpriced in recent years, so while I didn't buy anything there, I did get some pictures. The main store area is on the 3rd and 4th floors. There, you'll find a veritable treasure trove of retro consoles and games. On the 5th floor, there's a retro arcade. I played Puzzle Bubble and almost got the high score. Before dinner, we visited Game Panic, a 6 or 7 story tall arcade. The first couple of floors were all claw machines, which I did not allow myself to participate in, since I've been known to get hooked on claw machines. However, I did end up venturing upstairs past the racing games and Dance Dance Revolution machines, where I found this, Tunithm. I think this machine was specifically a Tunithm verse machine, but I'm not entirely certain. It was really cool. I played probably 6 songs for 100 yen each, which is a little less than $4 total. I ended up coming back to Akihabara on my own a few days later and bought a few things. A copy of Pokemon Soul Silver, complete with the Pokewalker, a Game Boy printer, Magic the Gathering cards for Sammy, some manga for ASG alum Joe Ziek, and some Pokemon cards from the, at the time, brand new Black Bolt and White Flare set for myself and Garrett. It's not just Akihabara that I had fun exploring, though. Shibuya, a special ward of Tokyo, is a commercial hotspot. You may have heard of the Shibuya Scramble Crossing, the world's busiest pedestrian crossing, where as many as 3,000 people cross the street at one time. Here's a video of me trying to film it and proceeding to walk into a traffic bollard. One of the places where I spent the most money was a consumer electronics chain called Bic Camera. It may as well be a department store because they had way more than just consumer electronics. In fact, it was the only place that I was able to find the Blanton's Red Label bourbon that my dad requested. I was super excited to see physical copies of software being sold there too, including Vocaloid software. I kinda wish I'd bought one now. Lastly, you'll be surprised to hear that I didn't buy anything at the Pokemon Center in Shibuya, but that's because I bought plenty at the Tokyo Tower and Sunshine City Pokemon Centers. I think that's a perfect segue to Ikebukuro, the urban hub of northern Tokyo, as well as the setting of one of my favorite anime, Durarara. While I didn't encounter any Doulahans or bartenders with super strength, I did find a lot of cool things in the Sunshine City Shopping Center. Sunshine City is home to a variety of attractions, not just stores and restaurants. Some of these include an aquarium, a planetarium, a hotel, a theater, a convention center, and even an indoor amusement park run by Namco. Anyway, on to the main event. Pokemon Center Ikebukuro, officially called Pokemon Center Mega Tokyo, is the largest Pokemon Center store in the world. It would take way too long for me to talk about all the cool stuff I saw there, so you'll just have to take my word for it. And would you believe I was not done yet? I ended that day's Pokemon antics by visiting Pikachu Sweets, a takeout-only cafe right by the Pokemon Center. That's a great place to visit if you didn't manage to get a reservation at the Pokemon Cafe. I got a Pikachu-themed mango tropical float and a Pikachu waffle, as well as a souvenir straw charm. The float and the waffle were both excellent. I think that's a pretty sweet note to end on. I really enjoyed my time in Japan, and I'd like to thank the Freeman Foundation again for making this experience possible for me. I highly recommend applying for the Freeman Fellows internships in Asia if any of this looks interesting to you. That's all I have for now, so till next time, keep watching All Systems Go.
After the break, we'll decide which peak alien life form deserves the ultimate cosmic investment. All Systems Go, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Guppy Tank. This time we're bringing the Force, and our contestants have for us some Ultimate Aliens, Ben 10 style, to look at. Let's see what they've found in the vast Omniverse. All right, first up we got Charlene.
Hello there. So there's this alien movie that I really like. It's called The Darkest Hour. The aliens in them are known as spooks to the people who are unfortunately hunted down by them, and normally they're invisible. However, this time I upgraded it so that it's no longer invisible, but it retains the original abilities of electrical absorption and manipulation, while also just becoming significantly larger than it is in the actual show. Because since spooks naturally absorb electricity, this guy has absorbed all the electricity, resulting in really just an overpowered form that allows it to not only retain the usual electrical manipulation and actually disintegration abilities that it retains in the movie, but it also can use magnetic levitation to move other metal and use it as projectiles or as shields to defend itself.
I'm absolutely terrified if that came towards me.
Ferrokinesis is terrifying.
I highly recommend watching the movie. You will be even more so.
It is kind of giving biblically accurate angel.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, just
absolutely.
a little bit. Thank you. All right, next up we got Coleman. What you got for us, buddy?
All right, folks. So as you guys know, I'm a big fighting game fan, and as a big fighting game fan, I love Tekken. And I present to you the alien final boss from Tekken, Ogre. But specifically, I present the Ogre above all. So Ogre is known for having multiple forms, including a monstrous form. However, this would be a hypothetical final form for him, which would bring him back to his cosmetics of his base form. And in his base form, he grows to a gargantuan galactus size, and his skin becomes a golden yellow. And in this form, he is able to, kind of inspired by Aquaman, he is able to summon other aliens and control them under his will. And of course, being a much bigger, more powerful threat, he becomes, a very sentient level being and is very just overall powerful and can make just pretty much any planet suffer kind of like Galactus in a way. So that's fundamentally what I have.
I was about to say that's Galactus right there.
That's just cosmic horror.
Like, dude looks like he's about
sort
to
of inspired by the one above all as well a little bit.
Seems like he's about to
bite out
eat
of it like you're biting into
the Earth. Yeah, I was about to say.
Thank you,
Definitely took several
Brian, you're
inspirations.
up. What you got for us?
Hi, all. So, yeah, I'm not a big Evol fan, but I present Goliath. Now, Goliath is known for having 3 different stages. This stage particularly, I mean, come on, need I say more? For a guy that needs close combat, you got multiple tentacles that can bring your enemies in and be like, or you can shock them once they're brought in, because Goliath now has electrical discharges coming out of his palms. And yeah, I feel like the tentacles added to more ways than just bringing them in for close combat. You can also attack from afar and or throw in objects nearby without having to use your extra limbs.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's like if Godzilla grew Cthulhu.
I'm about to say if
tendrils.
they had a child together, that's just a child of Cthulhu and
That's
Godzilla.
freaky.
Yeah, I would not want to encounter that.
Mike, come on down.
I want to know what you created.
Oh
What the
my
heck?
God.
So I have Frank the Pug from Men in Black. And as we know, Frank the Pug in Men in Black, he wasn't that powerful. He didn't really do that much. However, peak Frank from Men in Black, Frank the Pug, he is dripped out and he has an awesome bazooka. As you see, there is a mohawk on top of his head. That's an antenna. He has telepathy and stuff. Mind games, and he also has a nuclear bazooka and those tentacles that I'm not entirely sure what they do, but they are there.
Yeah, they're just there for
they're just
aesthetic.
Part of the drip.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's only so much you can do against something that big.
Yeah. I think I think I'd invest in Coleman for the fact that it's. Thank you again. Sorry. Okay. That. Yeah.
I mean, there's only, like I said, there's only so much you can do. Like
against a literal cosmic horror that can hold planets in his palm.
I'm about to say the biblical accurate one.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I mean, that one looks so cool.
I feel like that's the only one that's gonna give Coleman's a run for its money.
Yeah,
but like,
absolutely. If it wasn't so terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially if it was in real life, that just coming towards you would be a nightmare.
So what are we thinking?
I vote for Coleman's.
I'm also in agreement with Coleman.
So it's unanimous.
All right, that's all the time we have this week for All Systems Go.
Follow our Instagram for some fun behind the scenes content.
And our YouTube for past episodes.
All Systems Go, signing off.